Okay, so this is the Summer 2019 1H Higher Tier iGCSE Edexcel paper, and we start with the following question. Show that 4 and 2/3 divided by 1 and 1/9 equals 4 and 1/5. So the key with all of these questions, the easiest way is to turn it into a top-heavy fraction first of all. So 4 and 2/3, 4 whole ones is 12/3, plus another 2/3 is 14/3, divided by 1 whole one is 9/9, plus another one is 10/9. Okay, so we're just going to write down the left-hand side, so that. Then this is the key step that they need to see. So that's 1 mark to get this step. The next mark is for showing that it is the same, and some people, I think the neatest thing I've heard is copy, kiss, flip, or you turn the second one upside down and you multiply. Okay, so that's division by fractions is the same as multiplying by the reciprocal, multiplying by the s. So divided by 2 is the same as multiplying by half, is effectively what we're saying there. And so when I do that, on the top I get 9 times 14, which is 126 over 10 times 3, which is 30. And then I've got to try and cancel that down. So that's going to divide by 3. I can see. So that goes 10, divides that into 3 is 42, divides by 2 is 5, and 21, so we've got 21/5, and that's 4 whole ones and 1/5, and we must end with that writing of the 4 and 1/5. Okay. So, Jolena left her home at 10 a.m, circled to a park. On her way she stopped at a friend's house and then continued her journey to the park. Here's the distance time graph. On her journey to the park, did Jolena cycle at a faster speed before or after she stopped? So the speed is how steep the graph is. So it is steeper before than after. You can see it's slightly tilted away, so faster before as line is steeper. Okay, 1 mark. Jolena stayed at the park for 45 minutes. She then cycled without stopping at a constant speed of 16 kilometers per hour from the park back to home. Show this information. So 45 minutes. So we can see that an hour is broken into 4. So those are 15-minute slots. So 45 minutes. 3 of those. And then a constant speed of 16 kilometers in an hour. So we're going to go from 24 down to 16, down 16, 24 minus 16 is we're going down to 8 in an hour. Yep, so I'm going down 16 in 1 hour, so that's 16 kilometers an hour, and then I'm going to continue that journey all the way on. So hopefully this will work. Let's just show this as accurately as we can. There we go. So there's our journey all the way home, so it ends back at 0. And then it says, okay, shows all this information. Work out Juliana's average speed cycling in kilometres an hour for the complete journey to and from the park. Do not include the times when she is not cycling in your calculation. So the total distance, well, that's 24 times 2. So speed is distance over time. So 24 times 2, so that's 48 over the time. Well, she's cycling for on the way back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 1.5 hours on the way back. And on the way there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 plus 6 is 13 quarter-an hours. So 13 times 15 divided by 60 is 13 quarters, which is 3.25 hours. So that's 13 quarters of an hour. So 13 quarters, which is 3.25. So that's 48 divided by 3.25 is 14, and they want it to one decimal place. So this is 14.769. So to one decimal place, that's 14.8. Interestingly, if you get this, that's what they're most important. That's what they're most looking for in terms of the marks. Okay. Simplify e to the 9 divided by e to the 5. So divided by is over. So e times e times e times e. I know it's really dull, but it helps you remember 3, 6, 9 over e to the 5. And then we cancel, divide the top and bottom by e. And we're left with, oh, I've cancelled too many. E to the 4. 5 on the top, 5 on the bottom, we're left with e to the 4. Simplify y squared to the 8. This is y times y times y times y times y times y. Got to do this 8 times. Well, you can probably see by now how many y's we're going to get. But 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So altogether that is y to the 16. Okay, and then we're going to expand and simplify this. So this is our double brackets, x plus 9, x minus 2. So altogether, getting the signs right, x squared, positive 9x, negative 2x, negative 18. So altogether we've got x squared, a positive 9x, a minus 2x, and a minus 18, which gives us x squared and a 7x and a negative 18. There we go, and the final one, fully factorise. So we've got to take as much outside, that's what this word fully means, as much outside the brackets as we can. So we can take numbers, we can take 2, but we could take 4. Can't take bigger than 4 because this is 4 times 5. So 4, How many c's? Well, the most c's we can take out is 1, and p squared and p cubed, so the most p's we can take out is p squared. Then what are we left with? Well, we're left with 4 c to the 3, and p's were already done, plus 5 c's were already done, p. There you go. That is fully factorised. Complete the table of values. So the key thing here is when you put it in your calculator for the negative numbers, you've got to put the negative in brackets, otherwise your calculator makes a mistake. 3 minus 2 is 1. Okay. And so we put it in brackets. We get 9. Next one in brackets. We get 3. Now you can keep it in brackets with the positives, it doesn't make any difference. Minus 3. Okay, minus 1 and 3. Okay, and we've got to put all of those onto the graph. So minus 2 is 9, minus 1 is 3, 0 is minus 1, 1 is minus 3, 1 is minus 3, 2 is minus 3 as well, 3 is minus 1, and 4 is 3. There you go, and then we can see that's not a straight line, so we're wanting to draw a smooth curve through all of those points. And does that really lovely U shape. Again, you've got to try and get it through as many of those points as you can with one line. There you go. Okay, Becky has a biased 6-sided dice. Bias means it's not the same for each number. Table gives information on the probability it'll land on each number. Becky's going to throw the dice 200 times, work out an estimate of the number of times the dice will land on an even number. Okay, so we need to work out what this is. Well, we know that 2x and another 2x and a 3x and an x has got to make it add up to 1. So 1 minus 0.18 minus 0.26. So 1 minus 0.18 minus 0.26. So all of that has got to add up to 0.56. This is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8x. 8x is 0.56. So x 0.56 divided by 8 is 0.07. So then this one is 0.14, 0.14, 0.21, 0.07. So an even number is 0.18 plus 0.21 plus 0.07, which is 28. is 0.46. And you're trying to roll it 200 times. That's 200 times 0.46, which is 92 times. That's what we would expect. The diagram shows a solid cube made from wood that has density grams per centimetre cubed. Work out the mass of the cube. So density, we can see there from the formula, grams over centimetres is mass over volume. Okay, so we've got one of those nice little triangles. Work out the mass. So the mass is the density times the volume. So the mass is density times volume. That just saves you having to do the rearranging. So density is mass times volume. The density is 0.7 times the volume. And the volume is in centimetres cubed. So the volume of a cuboid is 12 times 8 times 5. So the mass is 0.7 times, which is 336 grams. Right, 5.7 times 10 to the 6 is ordinary number, so we can just type that in. 5 times 7 times 10 to the power 6, and that just gives us, so it's 5.7 times 10 6 times. So and then write that in standard form, so that's going the other way, it's making a small number, so it's got to make the first number bigger than 1 but less than 10. So that's 4 times 10 to the minus, because it's going the other way, 3. The decimal point has moved 3 places. We've divided it by 10 3 times. Okay, and then finally work out this one. So literally it's as simple as typing this in your calculator. It's not really. To the power 4 plus 3 times 10 to the power 5. This really used to be a non-calculator type question, but times 10 to the power minus 2, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5 million. And they don't mind whether you give that in standard form or not. 5 times 10 to the 6. Okay, on the 1st of January 2016, Lion bought a boat for £170,000. The value depreciates by 8% per year. Work out the value of the boat on the 1st of January 2019. So it goes down 8% every year. So what we need to do is we need to work out 8%. So to work out 8%, we're going to divide it by 100, and we're going to times by 8. Is 13600, and we're going to take that off. So after 1 year, minus 136. It's 156,400. Then we do exactly the same to get after 2 years. So after 2 years, it would be, if we do exactly the same thing, it would come out to 143888, and after 3 years, exactly the same thing, be 13236.96, which collected to the nearest dollar is 132377. Now there is a quicker way to do this, and we can start with the number, and then if we times by 1 times by 1, which would just be times by 100%, we want to take 8% off it, so we times by 0.92. Okay, so 8%, 0.08 times by 0.92, and we want to do that 3 times, so the to the power 3. So long way, short way, you can choose, but if you don't understand this last way, then I would do the long way, because it makes sense and it'll get you the right answer. There you go. Okay, the diagram shows a shape made from a right angle triangle and a semicircle. The diameter of the semicircle, AC is the diameter of the semicircle, AB equals BC equals 6 centimetres, and the angle ABC is 90 degrees. Work out the area of the shape, so we need to work out that length. So this is a right angle triangle, so we've got a right angle triangle with a 6 and a 6. How do you work out this? Well, we do a bit of Pythagoras. X squared equals 6 squared plus 6 squared, which is 72. So x is the square root of 72, which is 8 point, I'm going to go this really accurate, 48528. So that's what this is, 8.48528. Now, how do you work out the area of this triangle? So the area of the triangle equals half base times height, which is half 6 times 6, which is 18. Then the area of the semicircle equals half times pi times r squared, pi r squared. So that's half times pi times r, which is half of this. So that's 4.2426 squared. And square that, times it by pi, divided by 2 is 28.2743. Add that to my 18. .2743 plus 18 is 46.2743, which to one decimal place is 46.3 centimetres squared. There we go. Write 8a as the product of its powers prime numbers. So a is that. 8a, well 8 is 2 times 2 times 2. So that's 2 to the 3. And we've got to times that by 2 to the m times 3 times 5 to the m. So how many 2's have we got? 2 to the 3 plus the n times 3 times 5 to the m. Okay, question 11. 6. So C is B minus A. A is correct to the nearest integer. So if we have this on a number line, let's write down the integers. So it's 6 correct to the nearest integer. So that is the possible range it could be, so 5.5 up to 6.5, and 15 correct to the nearest 5, so let's write down the nearest 5, so that's 5, 10, 15, 20, and it's 15 to the nearest 5. So it's there, so it's halfway between, which is 12.5 to 17.5. Okay, and we want the upper bound for C, and C is B minus A. So we want the biggest C can be. So to make C big, B must be big. So B is the second one, so that's 17.5. But we're taking away A, so A must be the smallest it can be. So that's 5.5. So 17.5 minus 5.5 is just 12. Okay, good to ask about that one if you want to know some more about that. Factorise this. So I would do the reverse. This is one of these, and we've got the x squareds go here, so we've got 2x squareds and the 6 go here. So and then between these two we've got to make minus 7x. So this is a 2x and an x. We've got to get 7. So I'm looking at 3 and 2 or 6 and 1. Now I think with a 3 here and a 2 here, I'm going to get 6x, 2x, that's 8x. I don't want that. If I go a 3 and 2 the other way around, so 3 and 2, then I'm going to get 4x and 3x. If both of those are minus, then this is going to be minus and this is going to be minus, and I get minus 7x, because minus 3 times minus 2 gives me 6. So there we have our brackets, x minus 2, 2x minus 3. And those just take lots of practice at seeing those and practicing getting them out. If you need practice, I can give you questions, or you can find questions on the internet just to practice that again and again. Okay, solve this. 4m plus 9 over 3 equals 7 minus 2. So the key is getting rid of the fraction first of all. So to get rid of the fraction, I'm going to multiply by 3. So that's the first thing I do. So I multiply everything by 3. If I multiply this fraction by 3, it just stays as it is. And then I multiply this side by 3, so I'm going to get 21 minus 6m. So this was divided by 3, so I multiply by 3, it stays the same. And this one I multiply everything by 3. Okay, then I want to get the m's on both sides, so I'm going to add 6m to both sides, so I get 10m plus 9 equals 21. Minus 9 from both sides, I get 10m equals 12, divide by 10, m equals 1.2. And then part C, right, y, the fourth root of y divided by y in the form y to the b, where y is a fraction. Well, you do just need to know this, that the fourth root is to the power of a quarter divided by y. So we know already that we subtract. So a quarter minus, this is effectively 1, we get y is 1 quarter minus 1, which is y is minus 3 quarters. There we go. Okay, onto a tree diagram. Group C, six girls, 8 boys. So the fraction, 6 out of 14. Is that? And 8 out of 14. And then group D, it's 3 and 7, so that's out of 10. So 3 out of 10, 7 out of 10, and then 3 out of 10, 7 out of 10. The team is made by picking one child from group C and one child from group D. Work out the probability there are 2 boys in the team, so that's this line here. 8 out of 14 times 7 out of 10 is 7 eighths 56 over 140. So that's 2, 4 over 10, 2 over 5, I think. It simplifies down to if you put it in your calculator. There we go. Okay, after the first team has been picked, a second team is picked. One child is picked at random from the children left in group C, and one child is picked at random from the group left in D. Work out the probability that there are 2 boys in each of the 2 teams. So, what is the probability of now getting, if we got a boy in the first team, well, there's now 7 out of 13. From the first one, times, and there are now 6 out of 9 in the second one, so that's 42 out of 117. And we've got to get both. That's got to be true, and the one above's got to be true. So 42 divided by 117. Let's see what that simplifies to 14 over 39. So we've got 14 over 39 times 2/5 is 28 over 195. Okay. So the Venn diagrams question. So the whole lot is positive integers less than 20. A is the things less than 12. It's less than 12, and B is between 7 and 16. So we've got 7, 8, 10, 11. A is less than 12, so that's 6, 5, 4, 3, 1, 11, 12, 14, 15, and out here we've got 16, 17, 19. Set C is such that C is a subset of list the members of A intersection B. So that's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They're the things that overlap. A intersection. C is a set such that C is less than A. It's contained within A, a subset of it, and the number of things in C is 3. Given that all the members of C are even, there are only 3 things it can be. It's got to be 2, 4, and 6. Okay, use algebra to show that this is true. Now, interestingly, this has been removed from the syllabus. This is one of the few things that kind of won't appear in 2022, but I'll show you how you're supposed to do it. So x is 0.2545454, and the way you want to do it is you want to kind of line it up so you just get the recurring bit by multiplying by 10. So 10 is 2.545454, etc. And then we've got to line it up so that then we can also get the same decimal. So we've got to actually multiply it by 100 more. So that's by 1,000 altogether. Is 2545454. Why have we gone to all that work? Well, now when we subtract, the decimals go away, which is what we want to do to get a fraction. So we're now going to subtract this one from this one. So we get 254.5454, etc. minus 2.5454, etc. gives me 252 exactly. And the x's is going to give me 990 x's. So x is 252 and 990. And if I cancel that down, it's 14/55. And then you know you've got it right. Okay, but as I said, that isn't on the syllabus 2022, but if you're looking at this for the following year, then I'm sure we'll be back to normal by then. Here are the first 5 terms of an arithmetic sequence. Find the sum of the first 100 terms of this sequence. Well, so how to do this? Well, our common difference is 3. See, it goes up in 3s. And the first term is that. So our first term is 7. And we know that Sn, if we've learnt it, is the number of terms over 2 lots of A plus n minus 1 times the difference. Then we just plug it in, 100 over 2, 2 times 7 plus 99 times 3. And that's going to give me 50 times brackets 14 is 15550. Okay, A and B are 2 similar vases. Vase A has that. So the lengths are in the ratio 24 to 36. So that's 12. Well, let's just divide it by 12. That's 2 to 3. Then the areas, so this is the lengths. So the areas must be in the ratio 2 squared to 3 squared, which is in the ratio area. So this is in the ratio 4 to 9. And vase A has surface area 960. So what do we times that by 960 divided by 4? It's 240. So we've got to times this by 240. It's 2160. Vase B has volume V, and in terms of V, an expression for the volume of size A. So we've got a ratio now of 2 cubed to 3 cubed, which is a ratio of 8 to 27. So vase B has volume V. So what have we got to times by? Well, we'll do the same as we did there. V over 27, which means we've got to times this by that. So this is 8 times V over 27, which is 8V over 27. Okay, the diagram shows PQR. Calculate the length of PR. So we need to know that if this is A, this is little a, and this is B and C, we know that A squared equals B squared plus C squared. But it's not right angle, so it's minus 2bc cos A. Sub it in, 17.8 squared plus 26.3 squared minus 2 times 17.8 times 26.3 times cos of 36. Work all that out. You get 251.06 something. So A is the square root of that. Which is 15.844, etc., which is 15.8 to 3 significant figures. Okay. Table gives the information that heights of some trees. Draw this information on a histogram. So this is important, that a histogram, the area is the frequency, so we need to work out the height, what we call the frequency density. We need to work out the height, so we've got the width is 20, so we know the height has got to be the area divided by the height, so 15 divided by 20, it's got to be 0.75. We can do that for each of them, so 48 divided by 15 is 3.2, 21 divided by 5 is 4.2, and 16 divided by 10 is 1.6. And we plot all of those on 0.75 between 0 and 20. It's quite difficult to draw my lines, please forgive me. Up to 35 is 3.2. 4.2 is the next one. 35 to 40. Oh, that's just a really narrow one. And 40 to 50 is 60, which is 1.6. There you go. Yours will be a lot neater than mine, but you get the idea. Okay. So, ABC are points on a circle, TDB is a tangent to the circle, at D, AB is AD, and ADTD is 71. Get the size of angle BCD. BCD is this angle here. So, the thing that we've got here is we've got what looks like an isosceles triangle if I join this up. So let's put that one in. So we know that this angle 71 is this angle 71. That is by the alternate segment theorem. So we're going to say that angle ABD equals 71 degrees by the alternate segment theorem. And then that means this is 71. So angle ADB equals 71 because the base angles in an isosceles triangle are equal. Which means angle A, angle at A, so that's DB, 71 plus 71, 180 minus 142 is 38, because angles in a triangle add up to 180. And then this is 38. You see how I'm just doing it as I write it in. Then these are opposite angles in a cyclic quadrilateral, which add up to 180. So angle we're after, angle BCD, is 180 minus that, which is 142. That is because opposite angles in cyclic quadrilateral add up to 180 degrees. There you go. Question 21. A solid is made from a hemisphere and a cylinder. The plane face of the hemisphere coincides with the upper plane face of the cylinder. Hemisphere and the cylinder have the same radius. The ratio of the radius of the cylinder, the height of the cylinder, is 1 to 3. So if this is R, then this is 3R. Given that the solid has volume 292 pi centimeters cubed, work out the height of the solid. So let's do the sphere first of all. So the sphere is 4/3 pi r cubed divided by 2. So put that over here. So it's actually only going to be 2/3. That's the hemisphere plus pi r squared times h, which is 3r. And all of that's got to equal 792 pi. So I make this 2/3 pi r cubed plus 3 pi cubed is 792 pi. So I can divide all the pi's out and I get 3 2/3, which is actually in thirds 9, 10, 11 thirds r cubed equals 729. So times by 3 and divide by 11. Is 198.81. There I was thinking we might get a nice number. So we can do the cube root of that. And r equals 5.836. So the height is 3 times that. 17.509. Now that's making me think, because it didn't specify the accuracy, so I think I might have gone wrong. See, I've switched this 792 to 729, so this should be 9292, which makes this 216, which makes this cube root of 216 is 6, which makes this 18, which means the total height is going to be 24. Now, how did I know that I'd got something wrong? Well, it doesn't say a degree of accuracy here. So it doesn't say to 1 decimal place or 3 significant figures, so that gives me a clue that it's a whole number. So then it's just a case of working out where you've gone wrong. Okay. On the graph, draw the graph of 2 sine x plus 30. So, first of all, we're going to do graph of sine of x plus 30, so that just brings it back by 30 degrees. So we just have to bring every point back. So any point you can see, let's cross this over, let's bring those back 30 degrees. Okay, and then, so that would be this one. Then want two lots of this, so we're going to now double this away. So it goes through here, here, through here, stays the same, goes through here, through here, stays the same. So we've then got, trying to keep the same shape. There you go, so this is our answer. So just make clear that this is the answer. There. Okay. Right. X squared minus 6x plus 10 in the form of this. So that's completing the square. So that's going to be x minus 3 squared. Got to take away 9 because it's going to add on 9 and then add on 10. So that's x minus 3 squared plus 1. Hence describe the single transformation which maps the curve x squared onto the curve this. So the transformation is a translation, and we want to go, this means you go 3 to the right and you go 1 up. That needs a bit of explaining. I think probably best to kind of, if you're not sure about that, go and look that up. So this is the amount that the x moves, but it goes in the opposite direction to what you would expect. This is the amount of direction that the y moves. Okay. Closing in. Last couple of questions. A, B, C, D is a kite with, let's just roughly see whether we can sketch out and see what's going on. So 10, 19, this is point B, D is the point 27. That's D. A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D. So AB equaling AD. And then something over here as well. It always goes around A, B, C, D, so you go around clockwise like that. Find an equation of the line AC. Give it in the form of this, where they're integers. So we need to use the fact that these are at right angles. So let's do a little bit more about this so we can find that midpoint there. So this is 2. So that's 10, so this point here is between 2 and 10, that's 8, so that's 4, so that's 6. And this is between 7 and 19. So 7 up to 19 is 12. 6 onto that is 13. So that midpoint is at 6, 13. And the gradient of dB is rise, which is 12, over run, which is 8, which means the gradient of AC is minus 8 over 12, negative reciprocal, and it goes through the point 6, 13. So we know that y equals m x plus c. When you sub in 6, 13, it must work. So let's sub in 6, 13. X is 6, that's 13 equals minus 8 over 12. 6 plus c. And c has got to equal is got to equal 17. So this is y equals minus 8 over 12 x plus 17. And then it tells us these have got to be integer coefficient. We've got to write it in that form. So just going to multiply everything up by 12. So 12y minus 8x plus 17 times 12 is 204, and we want it in the form equals, so we've got 12y plus 8x equals 204. If we want to divide that by 4, I think all those things divide by 4, we've got 3y plus 2x 204 divided by 4, which is 51. Okay, now we really are on the final question. A particle moving along a straight line that passes through a fixed point, displaced by s equals t cubed minus 6t squared plus 5t minus 4. Find the value of t for which the acceleration is this. So that's the distance. So we have to differentiate. So ds by dt, and that gives us the velocity. That is 3t squared minus 12t plus 5. And then the acceleration is dv by dt. Differentiated again is 6t minus 12 when acceleration is 3 equals 6t minus 12, so 15, 6t, so t is 15 over 6, 5 over 2 is 2.5. There we go, and there we have finished the paper, just in a little over an hour. I hope that was useful. To ask any questions.